It's like a luxury car. It's like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, very similar. And let's put it into the sport mode. Wow. So hello people, this is Moscarblog and in front of me is the big boss, if you can say so. Well, it is. It is the BMW X7 M60i. It's the most expensive, most powerful, most insane BMW X7 you can get. And in today's video I'll show you the exterior, the interior, and we will take it out for a drive. So stay tuned, because this car is an absolute tech fest and a monster and everything combined into one. So people, the BMW X7 M60i starts at a whopping 136,300 euros here in Germany, which is quite a lot, but you are getting a lot of car for it. As you know, my friend Andre from Rennstil, he can't keep a car stock or basic. We always do the craziest stuff, so stay tuned for a lot more coming. There's super crazy BMW M cars coming. And this one here is an urban green and completely fully spec. This one here is over 170,000 euros. It's, I think, the most expensive I've seen yet. And it just looks so cool in this urban green, like a tank. Really, it's got a tank color, an army color, and it is an absolute tank. 530 horsepower, 750 newton meters of torque from a 4.4 liter V8 Biturbo, which is quite interesting because this is the S68. This is basically a real M engine, the same engine from the XM and the new M5. Despite us having a 60i, a 50i, they normally don't get the M engine, but in this 60i setup, we've got the actual M engine here, coupled to an 8-speed transmission. And it does a great job at driving you, great job with the torque, and a great job at burning your fuel. As you can see, we've got the beautiful matte black painted grille here. I really like that accent. It's not some gloss thing or plastic, it's matte black painted. It looks so cool, an absolute massive grille here. And we've got the splitted headlights here, of course. We can't have normal lights, of course. I've got the crystal lights on this one. They look so cool at night. When you come or go away from the car, they will flimmer around like real crystals, which is so cool. 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. That doesn't sound really fast, and it actually isn't the fastest for 530 horsepower. But this thing weighs nearly 2.7 tons without having any hybrid assistance. I think this is why BMW have chosen to not put any hybrid assistance on the BMW X7, because this thing already stock weighs 2.7 tons, which is crazy. This is the beautiful key we've got, the new key. The only thing I don't really understand here at the front is that this air intake right there is a real air intake, and this one here is fake with plastic. I don't know if you can see it. Look at this. This one here is fake. I hope you can see it. And this one there is actually real. Look at this. I can go in there and stuff like this. I will show you a clip of it if you can't see it, but this one is real and the right one is fake. I don't know why they did that. Other than that, the front looks absolutely brutal, absolutely menacing. We've got 23-inch massive wheels on this one. They are so big, and they've got a BMW individual badge on them, which looks quite nice. I'll show it to you now. Look at this. Down there, as you can see, it's saying BMW individual on the rim, which looks super cool in my opinion. Nice touch. Black steel brake on this one here. You can't spec a carbon ceramic for the BMW X7. Little M badge here on the side, which looks super nice. Real M mirrors here, the black ones, they look also super nice. They give this car quite a nice touch. I really like the M mirrors. And when you step some steps back and just look at this thing from the side, you can see that it is an absolute beast, an absolute tank. This car is so massive, it's very hard to park it in a normal German car parking space. Don't get me started on garages and stuff like this. This thing is so massive, but still, when you are driving it, it feels like driving a 1 Series or 3 Series or something like this. It kind of reminds me of the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Don't get me wrong, but the Rolls-Royce Cullinan always also feels super small. And this thing here has the same. And also the steering and everything about this car, I absolutely love it. When I was on the Autobahn, it was just gliding over the bumps and stuff like this. It is a very nice driving experience, this BMW X7 M60i. We've got an M-specific suspension. It's like a two, on both axles we've got an air suspension, of course, which BMW claims to give us more comfort and more agility at the same time. And which is also really cool is, of course, we've got a rear wheel steering in this car. That's really noticeable. You can feel that this car feels way smaller than it should be when steering, when maneuvering, when driving it. You really have to imagine this thing driving like a small car. I know it looks impossible, but this thing drives like a small sporty car, not just a small car, it drives like a small sporty car. So I'm really surprised. At the back, we've got a massive 315 section tire and 23-inch wheels, of course, and also a black steel brake here at the back. Moving on to the back of the BMW X7 M60i. It's an absolute massive rear, as you can see here. It looks so big. And it is, that's why it looks so big. Beautiful quad tailpipe with a fake tip on it, but behind that are beautiful 4 real pipes, which I absolutely love. 4 real pipes for a V8, that's how it should be. X7 M60i badging, looking very good, especially the M60i badging. Another feature I really like before we move on to the trunk are the new LCI lights. They've got like a very nice, beautiful design in them, and BMW written here, looking very cool. And when you lock or unlock the car, I don't think it will do it now, but when I lock or unlock the car, it has a nice animation. And let me try to get it for you. Let's see. Oh yeah, it did it. Did you see that? A very cool animation. Let's now pop the trunk and check this out. So people, once I've popped the trunk automatically, of course, I can also pop this here, as you can see, and I can sit on it, or maybe it's for loading stuff in to make it easier. And then we will see this here. Those are electric buttons. And then we will see this here, 4 electric buttons to move our seats. And there is also on the seat button and there on the side, but look at this here. A leather armrest for the people in the back, which is so cool. And the coolest thing, in my opinion, they get a third climate zone with heated seats as well. Can you believe that, for the people at the back? So let's now get up these seats and maybe take a seat as well in the back here. And then I will show you how it is to sit in the back. And there is my seat popping up. I'll also just pop up the second one for references, and let's jump inside and check these seats out. But the trunk space right now with the seats up is around 300 liters. With the seats down, it's 750 liters. And with the second row down as well, it's over 2,100 liters. So you could carry a whole, you could carry a whole building in here, to be honest. 2,100 liters, that's absolutely insane. So let me just take a quick seat here, and then I will show you the back of it, and then we move to the second row and then to the front. So people, look at this. I've now opened the door, and when we move to the seat here, you can see it has 2 buttons. It's got this one and this one. And this one just folds it down, so you can use your 2,100 liters. And this one here is for you to get in the back. Look at this, I press it now. And then it will start folding, as you can see. It will also fold down now, like this. Very beautiful. And now we got space to climb inside here to check out the third row. So let's go. So people, inside the back here, as you can see, heated seats, they actually work. And a whole panoramic sunroof for me as a passenger in the back, which I can close with this button here. There is a button here, and then you can close it. And it is very comfortable to sit here, even as an adult. My head is touching the roof barely, just my hair, not my head. And I'm a grown man, so for kids or smaller people, it's very good. What I also absolutely love is that we've got leather back here, leather here, even some leather here. It's not, the quality goes a little bit down, I think, but it's still leather here. And the best part as well, Alcantara here everywhere. It's still super comfortable back here, and very luxurious. Also a cup holder for you, and you could sit here for hours and hours. And I'm talking about the third row. I'm not talking about the second row or the front seats. I'm talking about the third row, and you know how bad the third row usually is in cars. This is my climate control zone here, my third climate. This is how the air comes to me. Panoramic roof, as I mentioned. Our controls here, very easy to reach, very good to reach as well. And here you can put your jacket or something like this. An USB-C port, which is so cool if you ask me. We've actually got USB-C ports at the back and hooks. This is for the trunk, and look at the hook. It's still painted in urban green, so BMW did not spare on paint or did cheap out here and give you like a silver thing here. You saw people stepping inside of the back of the BMW X7. We've got super high quality leather up here, leather down here, aluminum switches, also for our blinds, everything aluminum. As you can see, the blind is now going up. Carbon fiber down here, which looks super cool. The Bowers & Wilkins stereo, of course, also up here. And even leather down here for our door pockets, where we can put a bottle and some other stuff. Look at this, we've got quite some decent space. So people, inside of the back of the BMW X7, look at this, we've got a crystal switch here, and when we open that up, we've got a USB-C port and a mount for a TV or something. We've got an airplane style pocket holder here, also in leather. Even the back of the seat is in leather, which looks so cool. This is our climate control zone. Heated seats as well back here. 2 USB-C ports down there, a 12-volt socket, some storage space here, which is very deep actually. Our climate control zone, as you can see. Check this out here, a huge big window. Also our panoramic glass roof here, which lights up at night, which looks super cool. The highest quality of materials used here. Just look at those seats and that super comfortable pillow. You absolutely get luxury comfortable vibes in here, and it is so comfortable. Our little M seat belts, of course. And when we open this up, we get some extra cup holders here. Also in aluminum and leather, looking super high quality. When we pop them open, they come out like this. And it's very high quality back here, and I absolutely love spending time in the back of the BMW X7. Panoramic roof, sunshades at the side, the best of materials, Alcantara roofliner, of course, Bowers & Wilkins. It's just a dream. So let's now go to the front, check out the front, and then we will take it out for a drive. So people, check out the front door of the BMW X7 M60i. Luxurious leather, the Bowers & Wilkins. Controls for everything you can imagine, for the rear seats, for our passenger seat, massage, memory seats, aluminum buttons here, aluminum switches, aluminum door handle, leather everywhere. Carbon fiber as well here, Bowers & Wilkins here, and also leather down here, which looks really good. We also got a little M60i doorstep here, which looks very nice, and those are our floor mats. Nothing really special, no M logo on them, but there is an M here on the pedals. And look at those seats. Those seats are the M5 seats, but they are way more luxurious in here, with more leather in here, a little M on them, leather headrest, M seat belts, everything. They just look so good. The highest quality of leather, the merino leather. And let's jump inside. So on the inside, we've got this leather steering wheel here, leather everywhere on the dash, Alcantara roofliner, of course, the curved display, 8.5, the iDrive 8.5 in here. Carbon fiber everywhere. Also on the center console, we've even got a crystal gear shifter on this one, and a crystal start-stop button, and a crystal iDrive switch. It looks so good in here. We've got an M here that lights up at night, and also carbon fiber on the dash, the Bowers & Wilkins. Everything looks so good here. Those are the new controls for our climate. They also look futuristic with little crystals in here. And let's fire up the ignition so we get a little screen here. This is how you control the climate. You press the climate, and then you just control it how you want and how you like it to. So you have your apps here, and in there you can choose whatever you want, even YouTube, even everything you can imagine is in here. This is our gauge cluster. This is our gauge cluster when we fire up the V8, and this is it when we put it into the sport mode. And look at this, the whole car theme will change. Look at this, now it's purple ambient lighting, purple M. And once I switch it into the sport mode, you will see everything will change here. Look at this. Wow, that looks so cool. And look at the animation of that changing. This is the coolest part, how the M lights up there. Wow, it's just such a nice place to be. So let's get some revs and then start our drive. So people, let's now take out the BMW X7 M60i. It's still growly when you are driving like this. Listen to this here. It's like a luxury car. It's like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, very similar, because on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan you've got a big V12 and you're also not hearing much of it. And the same goes for this car. It's very subtle, and very luxurious. What I also really love about the new modern BMWs is that you can actually see your spec and your car and everything the car is doing in the screen here. Look at this. When I turn on the indicators, when I give it some lights, it's very, very cool and amazing. So people, as I've said, very rumbly, very growly. What I don't really like about this car, and that goes for the most modern BMWs, is especially this beeping noise, but you can turn it off with the set button. EU law, the new regulations, every new car will get that, also a Peugeot or something like this. What I don't really like is the power meters there instead of RPMs. It looks like on an electric car you get the power in percent instead of an RPM, and if you want to see your RPMs you have to put it into the sport for the transmission, and then you will get the RPMs. But then you constantly have it in the sport transmission. It will rev really high, as you can see. So you will never see your RPMs when just cruising around, only in the sport mode. That's kind of a bummer for me, but it doesn't really matter. And let's put it into the sport mode, and maybe let's just give it a launch control, because why not? 0 to 100, 4.7 seconds. First launch control ever for this car. Let's go. Oh my god! Wow. That's fast, oh my god. My god! Wow. That's fast, oh my god. On the gas, it's not launching. But it's so fast, oh my god. This car shouldn't be that fast. For 2.7 tons, yeah, it has got... Yes, it's got a V8 with 530 horsepower and 750 Newton meters, you can feel it. But the aerodynamics of this car, it's a big SUV and it weighs over 2.7 tons. BMW claim it at 2,675 kilos, but with fuel, with me, with equipment, you are over 2.7 tons, and that's insane how this car moves. What I also really love is just the torque of it in every situation. I think from 1,800 to 5,000 RPMs, you've got the full 750 Newton meters of torque, and you can feel it. Look at this. It's so growly, it's so masculine, it's really a nice big tank. And that's why we've got it in this urban green. Since it is a tank, why not put it in a tank color? Torque en masse. What a thing. I absolutely love this thing. The fuel consumption is horrible. I am not gonna argue about that. 17.1 liters combined. The last couple of 100 kilometers, that's a lot. I'm not gonna argue, but for a V8, for a petrol V8 and 2.7 tons, it's actually quite okay. But it is still a lot. I'm not gonna argue about that. That's way too much. This car has a fuel tank of around 85 liters, I think, 83 liters, 85 liters, something like this. And you can get a range out of it for maybe like 600, 650 kilometers max when you're driving it completely normal. So yeah, this car drinks a lot. What is also important to talk about, instead of just the performance and how this car performs, is the steering of this car. Because let's put it into the comfort for this one. The steering of this car, because how this car maneuvers, how light it feels, how light I can do turns like this with 2.7 tons and a big SUV should be illegal. I don't know how they did it. It is such a light, great steering wheel. Like I've said, it feels like driving a 3 Series. It is absolutely insane, this steering in the corners, in the city, when maneuvering the car, when turning it around, the turning circle. This is the craziest thing about this car, not the V8, it's how easy this car feels to drive. It feels easier than your day-to-day car. I will 100% guarantee you that. Because it also feels lighter than my cars, for example, and it shouldn't feel that light. Let's put it again into the Sport. Sport Plus I want, because then we can have aggressive shifts. And let's break down a little. Let's floor it now. Yeah, it really punches in those shifts. It is very, very fun. So let's turn around here. Try a launch control one last time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let's see, maybe it does. Whilst I'm turning around, check out the 360-degree camera of this car, which is absolutely fabulous. Also in my urban green color, That's just so smart. You can choose every single angle you want, but I just need those. You've got a 360 angle there. Now it's your front. It is very nice how this car, the assistance, also the driving assistant here in this car, when I press this button, it will also steer for me once it's figured out where I am. Or maybe if I put it into the comfort instead of sport, it should figure it out itself. Now I'm setting it to 100 kilometers per hour. Look at this. It will pick up speed itself. It will also turn itself now here. It's very smart. And it will also change lanes itself. Look at this. And this is a bad road. It's not that easy to read for the car, to be honest. It's got a lot of potholes in there and the lines are very bad to read. And the car is just driving itself here. Very cool. So I'm gonna break it down now. Put it into the Sport Plus. Maybe that was my issue because I didn't have it in Sport Plus. Turn off the traction again. And let's try to launch it and see what happens. Foot on the brake, foot on the gas. It's not launching, but still, what a thing, ladies and gentlemen. The shifts are so aggressive. In a 7-seater luxury SUV. The front, look at this, now I'm massaging myself. This car is just probably the most luxurious SUV you can get besides the Rolls-Royces. And considering how much this car is offering you, I might think it's worth the 170,000 euros. It is a lot of money. But we've seen cars way worse than this costing the same. So, yeah, that's my final verdict. So people, I hope you enjoyed the review of this new BMW X7 M60i. And I hope I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.